Good afternoon and welcome to the latest issue of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia and New Zealand print industry. This issue is sponsored by CMYKhub, which is asking, what will you do different in 2022? Good question. Take the quiz with CMYKhub and see how their solutions can work for you. Go to do-more.xmpy.com. News this week is led by a good news story with Fujifilm, major industry supplier, lifting its full year forecast on the back of what it says is rising volumes in offset plates, strongly rising volumes. Releasing its 9-month figures, Fujifilm said plate sales are recovering as the offset industry rides the COVID resurgence, or the resurgence of life after COVID around the world. The rise in plate sales tallies with recent news from all 5 offset press manufacturers who are also seeing a surge in orders as the COVID gloom lifts, particularly in the Western world. The surge in plate sales comes as the revival of the world's biggest offset press manufacturer, Heidelberg, is gathering pace, with the current order backlog of €951 million exceeding the pre-pandemic level, and the company saying it will be back in the black this year. Heidelberg is on track for a full year revenue of €2.1 billion, with net debt almost eliminated. Incoming orders in the third quarter to December were 16% higher than the same period in the prior year, at €643 million. Fujifilm said that graphics communication revenue climbed as sales in the printing plates field rose strongly in line with the recovery in demand from the COVID-19 pandemic. Australia and certainly New Zealand have been lagging behind much of the rest of the Western world when it comes to moving out of COVID, but are fast catching up. And on the recovery front, COVID Print Industry Association said that while rapid antigen testing for coronavirus are not mandated for business, they can be useful, but need to be accompanied by accurate record keeping, with printers urged to get proactive. Charles Watson, General Manager of IR at the Real Media Collective, said it's important to have the protocols and processes in place to undertake record keeping and testing. Walter Kuhn at PVCA said, "We encourage businesses to take a proactive approach regarding rats. It would be ideal if all printers would keep some on hand to ensure that staff can be tested so that a business doesn't become a hotspot for people to catch it." Today, Print21 is outside a quick copy franchise, one of the 100 or so operating around the country, reporting the news that Quick Copy has a new CEO, with Schwabsky appointed to lead implementation of the company's significant strategic plans for the future, for its future growth. Schwabsky was previously Chief Growth Officer with Quick Copy rival Snap Print and Design. Sonia is a dynamic leader, said Matthew Penfold. Her energy and passion, together with her extraordinary experience and business acumen, make her a great asset to the business, and we welcome her to the Quick Copy family. That's the chairman, Matthew Penfold. Penfolds, of course, have recently just taken back ownership of Quick Copy, and Matthew and Annalise Andrews are now on the board. Snap itself is about to reveal its new CEO, with former incumbent Richard Tame leaving last week. Last week was his final day. A new CEO has been lined up. New South Wales general commercial operation Printstorm is aiming to offset all of its carbon emissions from its Dubbo and its Mudgee facilities with an innovative solution that it says will benefit all. Printstorm is creating a publicly accessible park and with a tree microforest in Gulgong, just north of Mudgee. It will have trees planted for their superior long-term carbon capture characteristics, with planting of flowering underneath and natives to support the local ecosystem, including bees. Managing Director Paul Cavalier says, in addition to carbon offsets, this project is about giving something back, not just reducing our footprint, but improving conditions for everyone around us. PacPrint is appearing on the horizon, with the show, postponed of course from last July, set to run at the end of June. News from CMYKhub, one of the exhibitors there, is that it will showcase its design desk, an online subscription graphic design and pre-press platform at the show, with attendees printers being encouraged to pre-book a demo to learn how some printers, it says, are saving up to $50,000 a year on graphic design and pre-press expenses by outsourcing the work to CMYKhub. That's it for this week. Thanks to our sponsor XMPy. Create sticky relationships with your customer base, grow your volume, and generate revenue from new applications. Go to do-more.xmpy.com. This is Wayne Robinson, editor of Print21, signing off. Go to print21.com.au for all these stories in details and more.